Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Sean Lardo. I'm the evangelist here at ConnectWise. What a big day it's been so far. Um, as you saw from the image that just was up there, we are here today to have a conversation with the three finalists from PitchIT. For me, it's near and dear to my heart. This is a long time coming. Second year for me to run this. Fifth year from ConnectWise in the making of running PitchIT as a whole. You're going to ask what PitchIT is. I'll make it very simple. PitchIT is a Shark Tank-like concept competition. It is for emerging and startup vendors that are in the space. They have to be able to do two major things. One is be complementary to the ConnectWise ecosystem. Two, most importantly, they have to be able to support the MSP's mission. So they work directly with MSPs. And now, as far as the way the structure of this all went, these vendors that you're about to meet, they had to go through since May. They first had to be accepted into the program, right? Second, they had to go through since May of this year until the end of August. They went through week after week after week of business coaching, live streams, podcasts, webinars, whatever it was, literally almost at my beck and call, which was awesome for me. It made me feel pretty good about myself. But most importantly for them, though, it was really about them understanding the ins and outs of the space. A lot of them came as MSPs and know the space from an MSP side. Some have been a vendor prior and been in the space too. So they do have that, but it was really about getting them more getting acclimated and more reattached to the ConnectWise way of doing things as well. So we are going to do a deep dive into each one of these vendors. We're going to take a few minutes and learn about them, the people that represent them, and then we're going to get them all together to talk about it. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to see any of this, you can go back and look at all the videos that have been created, all the live streams between the MSP Media Network, the MSP Unplugged, IT and Business Podcast, and Sierra Pacific Group. And this is made all through the last 4 months. You better see all their interviews and see what they're all about. And that this was 26 vendors at one point, but we're down to the three finalists. So without further ado, I do want to start bringing them on one at a time. We're going to bring one on, talk for a few minutes, kick them off, bring the next one, kick them off, bring the next one, kick them off, and then bring them all in together just so they can all start to create some chatter. And so you all get to learn more about them and their product, their company, their culture, everything. So let's get started because I'm excited. We're going to bring up first from Nodeware, Matthew Koenig. He's got great hair also. What's up, dude?
How are you?
I'm doing well. So first, congratulations on being a finalist this year.
Thank you. We're very excited.
It was, I tried to call you and tell you, but you didn't answer the phone, when I found out. So I called Andrew and he was very elated and, but I saved your text message response from when you got the word. So I loved it. It was great. So how do you feel?
I'm excited as hell. And to be perfectly honest, with everything that I did for this, to get this along and the company did, my wife, when I showed her the text from you, literally jumped up and down. And nobody knows my wife that well. I mean, some of you may because you met her at shows. She does not jump up and down. And she was that excited about it.
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. No, it's well deserved. So before we get any further into that, let's talk about who are you and what's Nodeware?
Well,
30-second pitch. How about that?
I'm a Jewish guy from New York, and you asked.
Go ahead.
Okay. Nodeware's 7x24 continuous vulnerability scanning tool. It's made for MSPs. It gives you complete asset inventory, ranks assets critical, high, medium, and low, gives you a remediation plan, and it really kicks the crap out of traditional vulnerability scanning.
Gotcha. Okay. And I'm not going to say anything else at this point because I need time for everybody else to talk, and we want you all together. So I'm putting you in. I'm going to put you in the green room for right now.
Okay.
Because now we know you're a Jewish kid from New York that works for
Nodeware. Yeah, and I'm used to being put in the corner anyway.
Exactly. So we're going to kick you back into the green room. We're going to bring Bobby Jacobs up from Thread next. So stay there. You'll be right back. So, all right. So up next, like I said, another finalist, Bobby Jacobs, another good hairdo from Thread. Actually, you got a fresh shave going on there, don't you? I can see it.
I don't know if you know, it's National Talk Like a Pirate Day. So, man, what a fun day to be here. Sean, this is awesome. We love PitchIT. It's been such a cool couple months hanging out with you guys and all the mentors and other startups. It's been awesome.
right? You guys have been great competitors. I appreciate it. I mean, and so for those of you that don't know, before PitchIT started, Bobby had hair, but then
That's right.
emulation is the best form of flattery. That's
True
what I heard.
mentorship.
True.
I don't know what
Beard,
else.
bald head, everything. So let's talk about you specifically and what is Thread. You got 30-second pitch for the Thread, by the way. That's it.
Sure. Yeah. Thread helps MSPs provide magical experiences to your customers and to your technicians. We do that through integrated chat. So the MSP can put a white labeled app right inside the customer's Teams or Slack environment. The end user can chat with the MSP, but it's not scary. It opens a ticket in ConnectWise, can follow all the process, dispatch, all those types of things. By the way, we work super closely with OpenAI and Microsoft, so we'll write all your time entries for you, prioritize your tickets, categorize your tickets. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. Now, who are you?
Yeah, my name's Bobby Jacobs. I'm the head of growth here at Thread. I got to be with the Lion Guard team for a while. Love those guys, and now helping MSPs serve their customers in another way.
Awesome. All right, perfect. We're gonna kick you off now. We're gonna bring up the third finalist. You'll be back after he finishes talking.
See you, Sean.
Thanks, bud. All right. So up next we have Brian Doyle from VCIO Toolbox.
What's going on, Sean? And I'm sorry I couldn't be a nice shiny headed guy also.
You know what? Honestly, it's okay. We have to have the token hair guy. So I'm okay with that, and we can't all be aerodynamic. So, look, we already have some people on the chat. Cam, last year's winner from Alert Ops from PitchIT last year.
Great to see Cam.
All right. So, all right. So like everybody else here, Brian, a little bit of background on you first.
Sure. Yeah. I'm a former MSP. So we ran an MSP with data center concerns as well. And that's kind of what opened up the door for us thinking about what we wanted to do with VCIO Toolbox.
Now, VCIO Toolbox, 30 seconds.
Yep. So VCIO Toolbox is a unified platform for advisory and account management. It allows you to conduct your quarterly business reviews, do security and compliance work with your customer, and prepare those frameworks, engage risk, and ultimately deliver great materials to your customers so it speaks to them in a language that they understand as opposed to techno speak. And we unify the budgets between all those things so a customer can really predict their costs long term. For the MSP, we help you make more money. Both between upselling in the QBR realm and starting new revenue streams like vCISO as a service over on the compliance side.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Thank you. We let's get everybody else on now. We're all going to talk smack. So let's bring back on Bobby and Matthew. Right. Wow. Matthew's flexing on both of you, just so we're clear. So, all right, guys. So 26 vendors. You guys are the 3 finalists. So again, congratulations to all of you. Seriously. It goes without saying, like, the competition was really good this year.
For sure.
So we're going to go round robin here. And I told you, I've been receiving texts and messages that people were picking who's going to win from watching. They read the press release today, and your former competitors are literally picking names. I'm not going to tell you who picked who, but I'm curious, and I'll start with you, Matthew. Who did you think would be the ultimate winner? And other than yourself, because you also say me, of course. But if you're going to pick a number 2, if you just in the event you didn't win, of all 26, who were you picking?
I was actually picking VCIO Toolbox, and not just because they're a partner. I really like what they have to offer. I think it's neat, clean, offers a lot of value, and brings a lot to the table. But the biggest thing is everybody has vCISO programs, VCIO programs. I think they make it very easy to understand, very straightforward, and very streamlined, which I can't see an MSP out there doesn't need it.
Appreciate that, Matt. And, you guys are a great partner of ours too. We'll throw a little love before the shade, right? And we've been able to connect and bring in your vulnerability information. And it's the integrations from partners like you and others that we're building relationships through, through this program that really helped us as well, because those data points really make what we do better.
So, it's not, Bobby, it sounds like you're on your own here. First off, it's like a tag team match all of a sudden.
I was on the VCIO Toolbox webinar the other day on their podcast, so I don't know. It's not
we take care of everybody, man. We just got to figure out a way for me and Bobby to connect.
Bobby, I don't feel like it was like enough. I'm just saying so far. You have to do more, I guess. So are you saying, Brian, that you were thinking that Nodeware would be if you guys weren't?
I think Matt did a great job, but I got to give props to somebody who crushed me, if you recall, in the first round where you asked for 30-second pitches when we weren't prepared. And I really thought Tracy over at Hackware was going to be the one to take it because she had a tight pitch, hit the money, and she's the one that motivated me to get my game on.
Hey,
Good.
Tracy is awesome.
Yeah,
I talked to
so
Tracy a while back, and she's amazing.
certainly no shade to Matt and Bobby, but she hit it out of the park when we were on our event. I think I conceded before I even got to go.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that like she was within those top ones. It was close. You guys were all about a point like differentiate. Seriously, it was really the whole group at large. Really, it was hard. It was so hard. I'm glad I wasn't really responsible for the judging. Thank God. I just count the beans. Bobby, who were you picking to? If it's not Thread, who should have been?
Yeah, I thought, there's so many. It's tough. Bizzity, I think, did a great job. There were some really cool sales tools for MSPs. Like, I'm on the sales side of the house, so I love those tools. Like, Bizzity was really cool. MSP Camp I thought was interesting.
Right.
They're like
Here's a
they're a
great
little
guy.
different. It's not really a software, which I think is probably why they didn't win, and they'll be the first ones to tell you that.
Yep.
But I think the resources that they provide to MSPs at MSP Camp for like a low subscription is super cool.
I'd like
Yep.
to give a shout out to Rob Rogers over at Sales Maturity and my podcast partner. He did a really good job with a new and growing product and certainly caters to the sales market too. And that's tough when your product is still kind of defining itself.
I would agree. Yeah. And that's actually that's a great segue into what I was going to talk about, which is the evolution of you all from day one to now, even until the end of last month. It was when you guys all talked and we read all your stuff. Aaron, what's up, dude? I love the fact that I just love the image. All right. Anyway, it's so fitting, Aaron. It really is. So for you guys that don't know Aaron, he's a ConnectWise colleague. He's also really big he's very big within Evolve. So stellar dude. But anyway, the evolution of you guys, speaking of all the evolution, you guys, Bobby, we lost your video, dude, just so you know.
I'm back. My
back.
dog was going crazy.
Nice. Perfect. So how do you feel like your experiences were? Because I watched you guys progress from day one till the end. And to Brian's point, like he did get dusted.
I'll own it, man.
He really got dusted. And but it changed tremendously from pitch one to last pitch, right? So, Bobby, we'll start with you. How do you feel like your experience and what do you think you picked up the most on from that?
Yeah, we got dusted too on the 30-second pitch thing. Tim Golden beat us pretty bad on that pitch. And I think learning how to talk about what we do in a concise way, really talking about the value. And, if I start to get into like, oh, this is how you install an app in Teams, it's not that complicated, but you go to the partner center and, all of a sudden it's like, who cares about that? So figuring out like the value piece of it and how to describe that in a good way. Even our pitch, like we started with showing the market and the TAM, which is like a typical kind of startup pitch deal. We're like, hey, we're pitching to the ConnectWise team. Everyone knows this market. Like we probably don't need a TAM slide out of the gate. And so, that was some feedback from different coaches. So yeah, we definitely came a long way.
Absolutely. I would agree. And it was good because I got to work with all of you individually on your presentations even. So it was good. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, from start to finish, it was great because I think by getting those opportunities to go in the podcast, it really helped us shorten things. I can tend to go a little long at times. And it really kind of, one of your greatest comments was give room for others to come in. While it doesn't play in a pitch, it certainly plays in a Q&A session. And I think that really helped, the big picture, right? Pitching beyond just pitch it, but how to really make sure that you get your message across quickly. Absolutely.
And you did do much far better, obviously, after you got dusted. So it's good. And it's something that goes without saying. I so like when I shared, the stuff, the press release, I wanted to acknowledge the humility that's required to be an entrepreneur or extremely successful in general, but then have other people tell you you're doing it wrong. Not completely wrong, but just simple things, right? Because it's hard, right? Especially, and it is a humbling experience that you have to be willing to accept the criticism and to improve on, So I commend you guys on that. Now, Matt, same thing to you, man. What do you think you picked up on?
A lot of the things we picked up on was under.
Can we ignore Matt? We already addressed that. You're absolutely right.
I joined the club.
It's like he became more Cro-Magnon man as PitchIT went on. Look at me now. His knuckles are dragging probably too.
Oh, that's awesome. We've been around a while with our software package, and it's very solid. But some of the things were cool in the fact that I actually had team members join a lot of the sessions, and a lot of things the different team members picked up from the different coaches and the little tidbits and social media and marketing and all that stuff, they were invaluable. They really were, because not only did they learn new stuff, but in some cases it backed up some of the things that I had said, which is even better because you're hearing it from someone that does it all the time.
Mhm.
A coach that, hey, guess what? They brought them to specifically talk about this.
Yep.
So they know what they're talking about. I also think it helped us refine down not so much our pitch, but who we were, right?
Mhm.
At the beginning, we had an idea of who we were. But I think afterwards, we even have a better idea who we are, where we want to go, and what we want to do. And I think that helped a lot listening. The other thing is we got a lot of integration partners from it. We talked to a lot of people that said, hey, we like what you do. You like what we do. How can we work together? So I think that is also invaluable because, as you know, partners in this space are critical to your growth.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of what we got out of it.
No, and that's good. So, okay. So, Brian, what was your favorite part about this program so far?
Wow. There was a lot of things that really were great during this program, but I got to admit, I enjoyed the speakers each week because, you get reinforcement on things you already knew, and you can usually take away something that you didn't know along the way. Like when Michelle McPayne came in on social media, that's still one of those voids where it's like, how much do you participate there? And I really took away, be authentic, and tried to carry that into our pitch as well. This is who we are. This is what we're all about. And this is our mission. And those were some of the things that I really, kind of tried to incorporate both into the pitch, but also into our culture. It's tough during startup mode. You spend a lot of time talking to yourself, right? And everything sounds great. So it's good to kind of get feedback out there and learn from others. Hey, there's some things you can tear down or do better.
I don't know if that has to do with being an entrepreneur, because I talk to myself all the damn time. Matter of fact, I get kicked out of the house sometimes because she wants to know what personality she's doing.
Now we'll talk wives. I'll put you with my wife, who talks out loud nonstop.
I was about to say, I talk to myself. My youngest daughter, she's like, we'll be in the car, and she's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, shut up. You're not involved in the conversation. I'm having one with me, right? But actually, it's just me trying to save face because I totally don't even realize I'm talking to myself. I'm just so deep in thought. So yes. Matthew, what's your favorite of this whole program so far, and you guys?
I think the favorite of the whole program so far was, one, a lot of the coaching. Because again, you think you know a lot of stuff, to your point, but you find out, I don't know quite as much as I thought on this topic. And you pick up so many good ideas. The other thing was just the exposure, right? Going on the podcast, the live streams, everything, because it gives you a chance, one, to gain exposure, two, to refine your pitch, and three, to hear from other people who they think you are, and does it match who you think you are and what you're bringing to the table. So far, that was a lot of our favorite stuff, because as I said, it really helped us at the end of the day go, okay, we're good at this, we're good at this. We should try some of that, and understanding, again, businesses have a personality. And I don't want to say we were struggling with our personality, but we really learned who our personality was.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's fair. That's a fair assessment too. So, and I had to figure out I did the same thing for PitchIT, the program itself. I had to figure out what the identity of PitchIT was a year ago. And when Andrea and myself sat down for the first time to talk about it, and by the way, I got to give kudos to Andrea and Louie and Ashley. Seriously, and Jess, that's behind the backstage making this run and everything. But because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. And really, but when I took over the responsibility, I was like, Tony Thomas was like, hey, you're responsible for PitchIT. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. Pitch who? Please. Every one of those, pitch it in, easy, take your pick. But the reality was I didn't really know the full gist of it. And he's like, we got to fix it or make it not fix it because it was doing well, but it had to become more impactful. And we had to figure out what that meant. Right. And so that's hence the accelerated incubator program and the live streams and everything else. So I had to learn how to pitch it because I really didn't know how to say it. I was like, it's just really cool. That was like my pitch. Like, it's a really cool program and you all should do it. Like that works out well. Bring your crayons. We'll draw some pictures. That was about the most in depth I can do. So Bobby, what was your, what do you say is your favorite takeaway here?
Yeah. I think mirroring the stuff that's talked about, but really the exposure, getting on podcasts, like even some of the podcasts we did through PitchIT, we'd done previously, but like getting to be on those things again as early stage companies, like, Nodeware's at a show right now. The shows are super expensive and they're great. Like it's a good place to meet people in person. But we all need to talk to more MSPs and one, getting a bit of a stamp of approval from being in PitchIT. And yeah, just the marketing and like opportunities to tell more people about what we're doing. The feedback, the growth, the getting to meet other MSP or other vendors, like all super valuable, but the marketing was huge.
I totally appreciate that because you're absolutely right. The fact of the matter is if you put your budget together and if you wanted to attend every show, you'll go broke in the first year, right? Fact, even if you're the lowest level sponsor, even if you don't even sponsor, you just travel there. Literally, you're looking at a $3,000 spend on that from travel, hotel, and eating and surviving. Really.
To your point, I put together my 2024 budget. It was just an estimate. It's not what we're doing yet. Well, I started at 900,000 and now I'm trying to whittle my way around.
Right. You could be at 2.5 million easily. If you were to do every major event and every small event, and not even, and this is even accounting for the people you got to send and what they cost. Right. Yep. That's only accounting for that.
And it benefits the MSP at the end of the day, the less that we can spend to meet them, because it means that we're able to build more and do more in our product. Like if we're not spending millions of dollars on marketing
and hold cost.
Yeah. All of it across the board. We're able to build more, do things faster. And it, plays into our price. It's across the board. So not that we shouldn't market, but that is super valuable stuff that PitchIT is providing that allows us to put our resources other places.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, not just in the money, but in the time again. Yep. Every time you go somewhere and a team goes somewhere, that takes you away from doing stuff in the business for people, right? That's simple, I would say I can give you 3 personal takeaways that I thought were great for me.
Please, yeah.
One, I'll start with, Bobby, obviously the evolution of Bobby becoming Sean. But also your pirate picture I thought was great. I think like and meeting your team, which was great. Your team, the co-founders and whatnot, they're essentially they're real people. And having the first conversation, and I was like, what do you guys do again? And everybody was kind of fired up about me not understanding at first. Was a good thing for me. So that was a personal thing. Brian, very simply put, his first live stream with me and freaking Adam Belinsky, where everything went train wreck. Like his audio, his video, everything. I was like, this guy does podcasts on a regular basis and live streams, and everything went wrong for him. It was the greatest train wreck to watch.
I was like, you'd think I'd never done this before.
Right. And you kept going and going and going. Like you were still trying. You're like, I'll be back. Came back. It was good for like 30 seconds and train wreck again. And so perseverance. That's what that is. So I appreciate that. And Matthew, it's just, he's always playing the drums or in a hotel room. It's like I thought he was on a traveling band, to be honest. I was like, dude, like, do you have your van outside? Freebird. I was like yelling Freebird, hoping to get the song, and it just didn't happen. So so it's good because I got to spend so much time with you guys and learn so much more about you all. And to me, I think that's important. I think the one takeaway for all of you is that you all had a chance for everybody else to start to learn about you all as people and what you guys provide. Because Pepsi and Coca-Cola are products everybody's going to buy. Microsoft are going to buy. But when you're in your shoes right now, it's about you all. If they can't trust you, one thing we know MSPs don't do is they don't trust you. They don't know. They don't want to work with you if they don't know you, at least to some degree. So, and that's what you guys had. I had a chance to, and most of them had a chance to, which I'm glad. And you guys were all forthcoming, which is really, I don't know if it's really smart or really foolish, but thank you. We'll find out. So, all right. So we all have things coming up in the future here now. One thing is, you guys will be assigned head coach, and we'll be making the announcement on who the head coaches are assigned to. We're gonna make announcement who they are. So, and actually, I saw Cam's already on her watching. I'm curious, Cam, who do you think is going to win this if you're still watching?
And I will say, being at some shows with Cam and prior PitchIT people was super helpful too. Like we do want to give a shout out to not only coaches, but just prior participants, like getting to hang out with Vanahai and Cam's team. And yeah, it was, super cool to be able to get that insight. Not to mention in person at some shows, we got to hang out a little bit too. This was part of that full transformation. Took a little bit to find that, but yeah, thanks Cam for the insight and help.
That was a very oh please, let's not do that. Yes, I said only put up comments from people that have something valid to say. So yes, that was a very endearing moment for us, Bobby.
It was.
No threads, no affiliation. Thank you, Cam. So there you go. I think it's going to be a close game.
Cam is dead to me now.
Yeah, right. Once we acknowledge who all the coaches are assigned to, but Cam's picking you, not even knowing if he's gonna coach you. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I mean, you must have really taken on a who knows. Well, if you're letting me hold you like guy, who knows what you did with Cam. So we're gonna make the announcement next week on that. But you guys are also right now. You're at a show. What show are you at, by the IT by Design?
Yeah, IT by Design.
Nice. See, constantly active. That's the one thing I do, Matthew. Like you're playing drums in hotel rooms, but you're at conferences on a regular basis. And to Bobby's point, being active is important. But look what you guys all do collectively. Brian has a freaking podcast. He literally does this stuff. And Bobby is on all of them all the time because he loves to see his face on camera.
Love hanging out with good people.
But let's set the stage for this too. One important detail that people should understand is you're all certified integrators into ConnectWise. And for those that watch us that don't understand what that means you guys did a lot of work to be certified by us, from security checks, integrations, looking at APIs, making sure it actually makes sense that you guys actually work in conjunction with our core products.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, and we'll start with you, Matthew, how is the process with going through how I say this knowing how easy or difficult is it that what we make you do to be certified integrator with us?
Well, we're still in the process of doing it. And let's just say, trying to think of a single word that will help. Painful. Painful is a good word. It is so worth it in the end, but painful is the word I would use.
Okay, but let's define painful, because I don't want to discourage other vendors. Be like, I'm not doing this.
Now, I mean,
the process isn't painful, but the amount of work you guys have to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, in all seriousness, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And I give ConnectWise kudos because of the fact that they don't just throw anything on there. You have to go through checks and balances. It's got to integrate properly. You have to bring to the table something that makes sense to integrate, security checks and everything. So in all seriousness, there is a lot of work on our side, but once it's done, it's completely worth it. And you also know that you're getting something that works. I'm not talking about our software specifically, but the integration is tested and it works. And you're not going to have to deal with, oh, well, this was halfway done.
Right. Yep. Nope. Which is spot. It's important people to know that, because they have to know the amount of work you guys have to do. I think it's important that they all know that it's not just, you sign up for something and then you're in. That's not how this works. Bobby, what do you think, man? Because you guys have been probably one of the longest standing with us.
Yeah, it's a ton of work for sure. I mean, everyone gets involved, like the dev team, there's code reviews, there's looking at quality integration, the product. Yeah, ultimately, like if someone is a certified integrator, we won best certified integrator at IT Nation last year, by the way. So that was awesome. You get entered to win some stuff like that. But yeah, anyone who's a certified integrator should give an MSP confidence, and especially with early stage companies, everyone, when we're doing demos all the time, we get asked like, hey, what does your budget look like? Who have you raised from? Like, how long are you going to be around? Are you going to get acquired by, this vendor or that vendor? Like, people are doing their due diligence. So if as an MSP, you should be able to look at the certified integrator and know, like, okay, they've gone through the rounds. ConnectWise has busted their chops a little bit. We've done security reviews, so it's super helpful from that perspective.
Absolutely. Brian, you as an MSP before and now a vendor that actually did this, how do you see this being important?
Yeah, so I'll throw the MSP point of view from when I was there. We looked at those certified vendors first, right? Because we knew the product was going to work. We knew that there was, ConnectWise standing behind them. One of the bigger challenges we have with some of our integrations is when we need help as a vendor now, when we need help. And of course, if we're struggling to get help from the vendors we work with, that cascades down to the MSP, right? So support is a key component of it. Now, flipping over to the vendor side of it, it was really easy to sign up. You guys make that part really easy. But no, the code review is one of the things that we find most valuable because, just having a third party come out and inspect things as well. And, candidly, for a cost far less than what it would have been, if we were not in the program, that's a big win for a startup, or a small emerging company to get started and make sure, hey, somebody else is validating what we do is correct, and that what you're going to get out of it is going to be secure.
Yes, the answer is yes to all that. Maybe we should, Jess, let's make it a sound bite so we can put that out and everybody understands the importance of it from the MSP side. I think it is extremely important. I would say something else here just to throw out there, and you guys being part of the program and talk about integrations. Nodeware and VCIO just actually announced their partnership in this too. So, do you guys want to talk about that a minute here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll kick that one off for a moment. We came to Nodeware because what they do fits perfectly into what we're trying to do, which is automate evidence collection and being able to answer questions faster and reduce the manual process. So as we got to know Matt and Frank and the team and really see how that product works, it just made sense to reach out to them and go, hey, how do we get you and us?
Absolutely, which is perfect.
I'm not going to touch that, but okay.
Yeah, I was teeing it up for you guys,
No. The last statement, I'm not. Yeah,
I know.
Sean knows where I'm going.
Everybody knows where you're going. Everybody knows.
Anyway, no, thank you for that. No, it makes perfect sense. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, you are the perfect base, and we just lay on top and take your product. I won't say to the next level because of the fact that it's awesome the way it is, but it just provides that step up when you have like the physical and the administrative. Well, now you have the technical also, and you have that complete roadmap. So we love it. We were very excited to create that partnership.
No, but it really speaks to how the ecosystems need to talk together, like our integrations with ConnectWise. It makes our tool better to get the information that comes from a PSA. Yeah. And trust me, it's both ways. We get better because your information is supporting us.
I always say this, it is taking it to the next level jointly. The fact of the matter is we're all trying to solve the problem for eliminating as many windows or panes of glass as people have to go through, right? That's for one thing. ConnectWise is trying to solve for that. We're all trying to solve for that. So if we can start to stack things together, so instead of, when we talk about stack alignment, if it could be a merge stack, it's important to be able to do it that way if possible, which is why integrations, that's why I segued into it from you guys going through certified integrators to that. By the way, there's a banner for you guys. Everybody's looking at this. We do have, these guys are all in the marketplace or will be in the marketplace if they're not already, which I know that Nodeware is finishing up theirs now. But this is a way for you guys to have access to them, to find them. We even have, there is a PitchIT section in the marketplace right now, which these guys all fall under. So by all means, you need to all look in there. Now, let's go back to that single pane of glass and that integration. I think it's important to really establish the fact, and Bobby, this is where I'm going to bring you into this, dude. Your platform is all about chat and communication, right? So I don't see how you can't possibly find an integration, maybe not with Nodeware itself, but with VCIO Toolbox, right?
Yeah, what's really cool, what we're finding, because integrations are a lot of work to do well. What we're finding is without formal integrations, we're still seeing other vendors getting a huge return on getting their stuff to the end user through chat. So for example, like CSAT through like SimpleSat or Crewwho or whatever that is, we're seeing our partners get over a 40% increase in CSAT responses when the CSAT questionnaire is sent through chat. Now we do a similar thing with scheduling. We have I'm blanking, Sean. Who won PitchIT previously that is a scheduling? TimeZest.
Oh, time tested. Yes. I was like,
Yeah,
wait a
so
minute. Yeah. Yes.
TimeZest, getting their links to the end user through chat is huge. So being able to get QBRs and similar things with VCAO Toolbox, we don't even need a formal integration to be able to work together in that way. Formal integrations make it that much richer.
Well, I always,
which
we were talking about it, Bobby, offline, that the two of us are really talking the same, the same song. Hey, we want to get closer to our customers. We want to make sure they're happy. So whether it's a formal integration or we're just doing joint thought leadership, right, and getting out into the marketplace and sharing how they could be better. That's really the other opportunities that came out of this program for me.
Yep. It is. It's when you talk about the full integration piece and everybody playing nice together. We have ASIO that we launched 2 years ago, right? And we're doing development, and the goal behind ASIO was exactly that. To because I'm a nerd, it's like Lord of the Rings comes up, like one ring to rule them all, right? That's how, like, immediately that's what I think of, right? And that's what this is supposed to essentially be. So you guys will be getting into development into the ASIO piece as well, right?
Yep.
I don't think any of us started it. I don't think any of you started it yet.
We did. We just got access to our ASIO sandbox.
Perfect. So that is the start of it, and I would love to in the upcoming months. I like a progress report.
Absolutely.
This is where we're going as a company. This is where the industry is going to go. We drew a line in the sand and we said, here's where we're going. That's it, period. So it's important. It's important for us. It's important for MSPs. Back to eliminating panes of glass. That's what this is all about. And it's going to make everything so much more seamless. Remember, just us, like every other company, we had a core product line that we worked with. We had acquisitions, we had new developments, and you had to go back to the framework and rework it. And that's what we did. And so I'm ridiculously excited about it because it makes things easier for me to talk about. So I guess I'm going to say this. That means that obviously Brian has to be next on that because it's.
Yeah, we're waiting now. We're just finishing out our automate integration, so it would logically make sense for that. But you guys have a lot of things we can connect to,
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's weird. It's like we planned this or something, right? You also, if you look on the bottom of the screen now, we did put out to schedule a demo VCI Toolbox. There's the URL right there. I think we can put it in the chat as well, so you'll have it. I think it's also important to acknowledge the ease of working with you guys. That's the one big thing about this all. Like when I went through when we went through the program, is how easy you guys all been for me to work with personally, but I can't speak for you with MSPs. So how do we find you all other than what we're putting across the bottom of the screen? Let's start with you, Matt. How do I find you other than in a hotel room playing drums?
You put up a smoke signal and I'll answer. You can go to www.nodeware.com. My email is matthew.koenig, Koenig, at igicyberlabs.com. And of course, you can look me up on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Hold on.
Your DMs.
I'm stopping you right now because the last time I did this, I made a mistake and you got your cell phone number too. We're not doing that.
No, today. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I learned from the last time. It hurt. The slap you gave me, it hurt.
Yeah, you were like, hey, you can also text me and here's my number. I'm like, no, you don't do that. Like you know.
I want to earn your business.
Great question, by the way. Before I even go finish off with you guys, yes, Keith. You don't have to buy through ConnectWise. However, it makes sense to do so. And to support the program so we can see results and see how things work out. These guys are all, again, making it easy to do business with. They all gratefully said, please, yes, absolutely, do what you got to do through you all. So it is all going to be through the market. It already is through the marketplace for them all, for the most part, minus Node where they're wrapping up, but it's all there for you. So yes, everybody should be in the marketplace, buying our stuff from our vendors so that they can see how strong partnerships really work, and also saves them some work too, because we've already laid out a lot of stuff for them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And my cell phone number is.
All right, Bobby, where do we find you, man?
Sure. Yeah. So John said he'll give out my cell phone number. So if you want it, just let John know. Let me know. I'd love to get a text message someday. I'm waiting. All right. So yeah, you can find us at getthread.com, GET thread, no S or not Facebook or Meta, getthread.com. Yeah, we try to make it really easy. We have month-to-month contracts. We have a minimum license, and we don't sell more than that. It's usage based beyond our minimum. So we're super MSP friendly. You get on our tool, you see the value, and then you go from there. There's no gotchas or anything like that.
Absolutely. Brian, what are you, man?
So you can reach us at vciotoolbox.com. And me personally, love to have you listen to MSP Business School, the podcast that we run around sales, marketing, and business development. I also hold open coaching every Tuesday afternoon. You don't have to be a VCIO Toolbox subscriber to come in there. And we really talk about, process around being a VCIO and being a VCSO as well. So love to see you in those forums. You can sign up for those back on the website as well. And, finally, if you want to look for me, I'm on LinkedIn regularly. So just look me up on LinkedIn, although there's a ton of Brian Doyle. So Brian Doyle, VCIO Toolbox will be your best way to search.
So I guess another thing to acknowledge real quick too, and we're going to wrap up in a few minutes here. You guys also are all sponsoring IT Nation Connects. You'll all be there.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
no doubt.
That's right.
And you were all sponsored before you knew you were finalists. So everybody knows this. It's not as if you guys decided to do it because you were there. You guys had all committed and invested before that. So we appreciate that from our side because it just shows the strength of you all. And look at this. Jess, you're so good at this.
There you
Look,
go.
right across the bottom. So for those of you that are still not even going yet and want to go, you can register and get $50 off of registration. All you got to use is ITN Social 50. It should say like ITN Sean Goat 50, but whatever. But yes, you absolutely need to make sure you register so you can get in and go.
Also, you need to come listen to me speak.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
I
all
got a
be pitching
solution.
on stage, right?
No. I got a Solution Pavilion thing. I've got a 2-minute, pitch. We're going to bring back Dear Diary. So,
Oh
yeah.
my Lord. Okay, so yeah. So let's talk about this though real quick and let's run through it. So first off, you guys are all going to be on stage live November 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard at IT Nation Connect, pitching for the win, all three of you, of grand prize $70,000, second place $30,000, third place Uncle Marv
Steak
said he'll
knives.
steak knives from the Dollar
Yep.
Store. So that's one reason why people should come see you all.
Yep.
This is in Orlando. Now Matthew, you start talking about like you're going to be on stage for some other stuff. So what else do you have going on?
No, so we're going to have some show specials. We sell assets, right? That's the way you sell vulnerability scanning tools. You're going to have a buy 50 assets, get 50 assets free. We've got a couple of presentations. We're offering some free coaching. As you know, I do sales and marketing coaching. So we're offering up 15 minutes of my time to anybody that thinks I'm actually smart enough to talk to, which don't ask Sean.
I mean, are they? I'm just trying to figure out how this works. So they mean like you pay them to hang out with you? It's like you pay like co-pay and they come to you and you give coaching?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can we get a shout out to Dave Make too? Can you give a shout out to
in all-
Dave Make while we're doing this from Defense X saying congrats to you all? He was one of your contestants.
Nice.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
Great
Thanks,
pitch,
Dave.
He's from Canada. He's always going to be nice, and he'll be sponsoring IT Nation as well. So sorry, keep going, Matt. I had to make sure he said something.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Look at his hair
Yeah.
looks. It looks like Jimmy Neutron.
I like it. I want hair like that.
I know, right?
I want hair.
I want.
I just want a strand.
Just one strand.
I just want a strand. The beard's okay, but the strand, I don't know. I mean, what I've done in a couple shows, and it's been real successful, is, I've been working in the channel, as you know, forever. And I've been a lot of places, done a lot of, sales coaching, run a lot of sales teams. So if you want to talk for 15 minutes about any problem you're having or sales stuff, just come grab me. We'll do that. There's no charge and there's no you have to buy to it. I just want to give, honestly, at this point, I just want to give back to the community.
Awesome. All right, Bobby, what about you, man?
Yeah, we've got some freaking awesome stuff planned. We've got a pretty big lounge in addition to our startup booth. Last year, we dressed up as pirates and held a funeral for the ticket and marched a coffin around the trade floor. So, something on that level we've got planned for this year. We've definitely got some really fun AI releases planned. Got some fun stuff going on at the booth that Sean may or may not be a part of. we are trying to get the legal stuff approved and the health codes approved for the events that we've got going on at our booth. So
Oh, God help us.
TBD before we
That's a
announce them.
cliffhanger right there.
To be clear, I'm in if you do it. If you get it all taken, I'm in. I'm just telling you
I
right
know.
now. I already told you I'm in. So
Working on it.
I already have everything ready for what I want. So anyway, I'm not going
Come
to
to
spoil
the
it,
thread
though.
booth.
Yeah, come. Yes, exactly. All right, Brian, what about you, man?
Yeah, so we'll be there as well, and we've got some plans to do some live MSP business schools while we're there as well. So we'll be looking for getting some of our PitchIT friends and others to come join us, and we'll do a few live episodes. That'll be very new for us to go live. And then in addition to that, we do have some promos that'll be coming for there as well. The biggest one, and we're actually starting this in advance of PitchIT for those, but running the PitchIT brand with it is the ability for MSPs to come and use our GRC module to evaluate themselves and rate themselves against frameworks. It's important that they're measuring their cyber posture, making sure that they're doing all that they can do, and we want to give back to the community by giving them a tool to allow them to do that at no cost to them.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna have one closer and Mark here, and then we're gonna get off of this, and everybody can go back to their regular life because it can't be celebrities all day. So
Speak for yourself. I'm at a show.
Well, okay. Aside from Matthew, it's a traveling band. He plays Piano Man at 3 p.m. Eastern today. So let's, advice for anybody that's considering joining PitchIT, why they should do it. Bobby, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an early stage company, just the connections that you get in the channel, man, especially if you're not in the channel yourself, if you don't know these connections, like I didn't know these guys before PitchIT, and now we're all best friends. So, making friends, but more so than that, like making real mentors and connections, and it's kind of a streamline to getting a bunch of years in the space.
Absolutely. And you get to take really good headshots with me at events. So,
exactly.
Matthew, what do you think, man?
No, I mean, I think the camaraderie, just the learning, even if you don't win, going through the process, the amount of stuff you learn and the amount of stuff you learn from experts that do it, it's literally like a channel MBA that you're getting at no charge to you, learning how to be a better vendor and a better company, and everything gets covered. I mean, it literally, you've ever seen the Pocket MBA book? This is literally like a 16-week channel MBA. So whether you actually make it to the finals or not, there's absolutely no losers in this. Just the relationships, the exposure, and the teachings and knowledge you gain. It's ridiculously worth your while. And I got news for you. Even if you're not an early stage startup and you've been doing it a little while, like I've been in the channel, as Sean knows, like, I don't know, since I had hair. And it was so worthwhile, even for me, learning from all of these people and the information I picked up.
Absolutely. Brian, what do you think, man?
Yeah, it's tough to, go with anything above that. It was camaraderie, the learning, the education. Definitely your analogy, Matt, about Pocket MBA is perfect for it. But I think the other thing is, building those bridges into ConnectWise is also important. Finding support, where to navigate through that ecosystem is something for those of us that are connecting to you as integration partners need to do as well. And then, lastly, I'd say, really for me, it was kind of looking into ourselves and seeing how other people presented out in kind of a group setting and seeing, hey, where can we be better at doing things? What things are they doing that can innovate a little bit different than we've been innovating? And really gave us a chance to kind of look a little bit closer at product, price, and fit in our world.
Absolutely. Perfect. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys taking time. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big deal. I'm excited, so I can only imagine how excited you are. But yeah,
I'm ready to rumble.
Pumped.
Whoa, slow down. I mean, you started off the call being up with your chest puffed up, and now you got your hand. I mean, literally.
He's excited.
Right?
We're ready to rumble.
I'm super stoked to watch you guys go live, pitching live at IT Nation Connect on November 8th. Again, for everybody watching, November 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard in Orlando at IT Nation Connect will be when this happens. We're going to keep tabs on you guys over the next couple months as we prepare for this. I mean, we're less than 2 months away from this, guys.
It's coming up.
Oh, I know.
Right.
And I got a trip to Australia in between there, so I'm going to have plenty of time to practice on the plane.
Or plenty of
Yeah.
time to forget that pitch while you're sitting on the beach.
Right. But again, thank you guys. Thank you for being good competitors, being very gracious and humble in this too. I look forward to seeing where this goes, and even post the competition. I'm glad you guys are all part of this group. I'm glad you guys have all have the camaraderie that exists from all of you. Our team appreciates it. You guys are definitely what we were looking for when we thought about who we wanted. You guys all really stepped up and did exactly how we envisioned what these members
It's been amazing. It's absolutely been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, thanks to yourself, Andrea, Louie, the whole ConnectWise team and company. Super excited for
all
what's
the
next.
support's been great.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, we're going to get out of here because I have to actually get ready to go for a flight to ASCII in Chicago. So that's in a few hours. So I have to go finish packing. So yeah, don't worry, Matt. I'll be like you and a celebrity for the next 2 days. Again, I look forward to seeing everybody at IT Nation Connect. Look forward to seeing everybody showing up at the PitchIT Finals, which is the best part of the whole IT Nation Connect. We know this. Until then, I'll see you all later. Doodles.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Later.